Well, it's very good being together here with Grace Wenger, resident here at Landis Homes and author, a very special author because you wrote the book about the first 30 years of Landis Homes. And now, 45 years after the beginning, we welcome hearing from you any stories you would like to share about how you have seen God at work here at Landis Homes.
I think I have seen God at work in the physical growth of the institution. 45 years ago, there was Aspen and the 4 cottages just across from Aspen. And when Emma Rudy first arrived, she said, I saw those small buildings and wondered if this could ever be a retirement home. And Grable Landis, who donated the $100,000 that got things started, said, those walls will never stand, but they are still standing, and the place has grown tremendously and is still growing. Another thing that has happened, I think, has been a growth of confidence in this type of facility. After the home had been open for about a month and a half, there were 6 residents in Aspen and 2 in one of the cottages. And Ori Miller said, this type of retirement living is new to Mennonites. If Mennonites won't come, we'll open it to other people. And confidence has grown not only among Mennonites, but among people of every denomination. And I think that has enriched the place. And the thing that I feel most positive about is the way people's needs have been met exactly where they are. And there I'm going to talk about my Aunt Katie. Aunt Katie was my mother's youngest sister who lived with us. And after her retirement, she spent most of her time talking with Mother, doing little things about the house, but visiting with Mother. And when Mother died suddenly, she became deeply depressed and announced that she wanted to go to Philhaven. We really didn't know what to do, but we contacted the only other niece that was in the country, one was in Africa, and told her the problem. Aunt Katie is depressed. She thinks she wants to go to Philhaven. Elta was the wife of Ori Miller. So Ori and Elta came, picked up Aunt Katie, and Ori convinced her that perhaps she just needed a change of scenery. Maybe she should try Landis Homes instead of Philhaven. So they brought her to Landis Homes. She picked room 13 in Aspen. This was in April of the 2nd year of Landis Homes. Moved in on Good Friday and immediately began to call us wanting to come home again. Of course, we knew that was the wrong thing because she would be alone again and have time to feel depressed and miss Mother. So we told her we think it would be better for her to stay. Someone from our family visited her every Sunday afternoon, and at first it was very difficult because she kept begging me to come home. She offered another niece $100 if she would take her home. Her Sunday school teacher took her to church and invited her for dinner, and she said, I could live here with you. This continued for several months, and then we began to hear positive statements. Grace Lehman did this for her. Eva Martin did this for her. Staff members. Curtis Johnson was so helpful. Other residents, Barbara Rice, Lizzie Momal, Margie Booth. Things became more and more positive until by November, we could take her home for Thanksgiving dinner. And we thought the battle had really been won when, after she had been there for a Sunday dinner, late in the afternoon she said, Well, I think it's about time for me to go home. And to know that Landis Homes had become home to her was a real victory. Seeing the atmosphere of Landis Homes, my sisters and I decided that when we retired, that this would be the place we would come. We came, I think it was 22 years ago, and have never regretted it since then. And that's how I think God is working here.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you so very much for sharing that very special story.
You're very welcome. And I'm sure it has happened to many other people here too. Their needs are met where they are. And it's not only staff, but staff and residents.
Yes.
Everything works together.
And I see so many persons, yourself included, serving other residents.
Right.
You deliver mail, you do a variety of things that help brighten the day of others.
Teach Sunday school
Teach
lessons.
Sunday school lessons.
Coming up this week, and it wasn't an easy one to teach.
Well, thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Grace.